Alrighty, welcome back to the channel of Pro Enzo Vids, and this afternoon is my round 16 NRL tips for 2025. So yeah, look, it's a full round this week apart from having 3 clubs out with a bye, but should be a good round nonetheless, and yeah, keen to see how some clubs go because some teams may have players backing up from Origin, but some may not. Depends because Perth's a long flight, 5 hours there, 5 hours back. So we'll see what players back up in time because, yeah, there's always a chance that some may not. So we'll see what happens. But look at the round of footy of what games I'm looking forward to personally. I must say, one game that I really am interested about is Warriors and the Panthers, 3 p.m. Saturday in New Zealand. James Fisher-Harris versus the Panthers yet again. That will be cool to see. But yeah, I guess Panthers have hit some form recently. Haven't been that convincing, Penrith, but they've been winning games, I guess. So they're getting a bit of mojo back. But the Warriors are on another level this year, especially at Mount Smart or Go Media. Yeah, they've been unreal this year at home. I guess another game I'm probably a bit keen for as well. I would have to say, look, I'd say Roosters Cowboys has potential, I think, because last year the Cowboys did beat the Roosters when they were not really favoured, I guess, to beat them down at Sydney last year. So it could be the same case, I don't know, but Roosters got a gritty win last week, and Cowboys honestly had to turn that sort of game around from last week. That was a disappointing one there by them. But yeah, look, without further ado, let's get into the tips. So first up, it's the West Tigers versus the Canberra Raiders at Campbelltown Sports Stadium. The Tigers had the bye last week, but the week before they played Cowboys and they lost 32-28, coming back nearly and completing that comeback, but just fell short by 4 points. But look, Tigers, this year it's their best year in a long time, let's be honest, but they're still struggling to be consistent and they still lose some pretty bad games. So I don't know. We'll see what side Tigers come up with on Friday because Jerome Luai, I don't know if he'll back up, but we'll see what happens anyway. But yeah, he's named the halfback for now, so we'll see if that does go ahead or not. As for Canberra Raiders, Raiders have been one of the best clubs in the comp this year. They are flying at the moment. An exciting debutant will debut on the wing on Friday too, so keep an eye out for Jed Stewart, the son of Ricky. So how good's that? All right. You see, looking at both sides, Fanua Polo returns after 3 games out with a knee injury, so it's the only Finu goes to the bench. Alex Twirl's back from concussion. He goes to lock. Talon De Silva has been added to the bench. Charlie Murray and Kitley Aliti dropped to reserves. As for the Raiders, Jed Stewart will make his NRL debut on the wing, replacing Sevilla Tamalo, who's out with a knee injury. And Hudson Young's been named to back up for now. Okay, well, my tip for this game, I will back the Canberra Raiders to win. I think Raiders should be too good at Campbelltown on Friday. Look, Tigers could show some fight. They play all right at Campbelltown, but I think Canberra, on the class they're on this year, I think it's a bit too much for the West Tigers to handle. So I'll tip Canberra 1-12. First try scorer, give me the debutant Jed Stewart. Why not? And anytime try scorers, going to go Jarrell Skelton, and if he plays, Hudson Young for a try. The Battle of the Bash Bros, eh? For the first time ever, it's James Fisher-Harris versus Moses Leota in an NRL game. Wow, bring it on. Looking forward to it. The Warriors, been in great form as of recent and are flying. Had the bye last week, but smashed Cronulla the week before in the Shire. And the Panthers, they're getting the job done, but not convincing, as I said before. So we'll see how they go. All the Origin stars are out, so it's going to be a very tough task for the Panthers on Saturday, Arvo. But looking at both sides, for the Warriors, Moala Graham Taufa will play his first NRL game since round 22 last year in the Senses for Kurt Capel, who's out with Origin. Wade Egan returns from a hip injury at hooker, so Sam Healy goes to 18th man. Rocco Berry is out with a hamstring, and Ali Lautau remains sidelined with both of injuries. For Penrith, Ivan Cleary has chosen to rest all his Origin stars, but Lindsay Smith, who will play at prop on Saturday. Dane Laurie goes to fullback. Alan Motti comes in on the wing. Brad Schneider to halfback, and Isaiah Papali'i starts in the back row. And Matt Eisenhuth starts at lock. And Liam Henry returns from suspension on the bench alongside Trent Toliar, and Luron Patia and Luke Garner make up the bench for Penrith. It's pretty obvious that Warriors are the best tip for this game, and I'll do just that. I think Warriors will be way too good at Go Media Stadium, and yeah, like I said, their home record this year has been incredible. I don't think they've lost a game at the one lost one game to the Raiders not too long ago. But other than that, their home record's been just through the roof this year. Their fan support's unreal. So I think Wires win and win well as well. I'll go the Wires to win 13 plus. Yep, should be a good win by the Warriors. 13 plus. First try scorer, give me Dallin Wateni's Lesniak. And anytime try scorer is going to go with Leka Halasima. And for the Panthers, back in the much improved Tom Jenkins. Now, we head to Perth now, so the time zones are yet again different. It's the Dolphins versus Knights at HBF Park in Perth, so not Optus, HBF Park, the other stadium in Western Australia. Yeah, so look, 3:30 p.m. kickoff in their time, but 5:30 here in Sydney and probably Queensland too. But yeah, looking at how both these sides are going, Dolphins are just cruising at the moment. Like their form is incredible. Got to say, real credit to Christian Wolf. Like the way Wolf has got this Dolphins side playing is quite incredible. Just playing for each other, great attacking footy. They're just playing relentless type of footy as well. So at the moment, fins are clicking and they're playing great footy. So real credit to them. But they put 50 points on two sides in back-to-back weeks. When does that ever happen? Never. So yeah, good on the Dolphins playing good footy. As for Newcastle, after that miracle win over Manly, I thought they would have maybe been a bit better against the Roosters, but Roosters got the job done in a very gritty game. But I must say though, Knights had plenty of chances to win, even though that Sia Wong try was very sus. Knights had their chances to win, so that was on them. I think that loss, unfortunately, for O'Brien and his Knights team. But looking at both sides, for the Dolphins, Hamiso Tabuai-Fidow is named to play at fullback, so he's in Perth on Wednesday already, so he'll just stay in Perth, I guess, until Saturday. So he'll play. That means Averillo goes to the Censors. Max Feagai drops out. Felice Kafusi is out suspended, so Mark Nichols starts in the front row, and Harrison Graham is added to the bench. Young gun Isaiah Katoa, wow, will captain the Dolphins for the first time. Huge honour there for Isaiah Katoa, one of the most rising young stars in our game. As for the Knights, well, the big news this week was the return of Dom Young, returning to the club, so he'll start on the wing. So that means Rabin Best is also back from a hamstring injury, big in there for the Knights. Callum Ponga has been named to back up at fullback, so like Hamiso, he'll just stay in Perth, I'm assuming. Fletcher Sharp goes to 5'8", Kyle goes to halfback. Tyson Frizzell is back, so that means Brodie Jones goes to the bench. Jack Hetherington is named in the reserves as he chases a return from a shoulder injury. And James Schiller goes to 18th man with Dom Young back. And Jackson Hastings has been dropped to reserve grade. So is Fletcher Hunt and so is Kyle McCarthy. Wow. Okay, my tip for this game, I think it's pretty obvious. Dolphins have to win. The way Dolphins are playing, it's just full of confidence and full of excitement in their game. So I'll go Finns 1-12. Actually, no, Finns 13 plus. Sounds better. First try scorer, give me Jake Averillo, and anytime try scorers, I'm going to go with Herbie Farnworth, and for the Knights, the returning Dom Young. And wrapping up Super Saturday, it's the Rabbitohs versus the Storm at a Course Stadium, 7:35 p.m. kickoff. So last time these two sides played, it was back in Anzac round, I think it was. Souths were very close to defeating Storm in an upset win, but Storm just held on and won the game at Amy Park very closely. The Rabbitohs were disappointing against the Bulldogs last Sunday. They were actually close to winning. I guess the Lightning sort of and made them have an extra break sort of helped, I guess. But yeah, they were disappointing South Sydney. Their form at the moment has been very up and down, I got to say. Like, they've lost 3 games in a row now, I think, or whatever. So, yeah, they need to get some wins very soon, I think, because their season's definitely not very even. As for the Melbourne Storm, Storm have not been perfect themselves, but they've been getting the job done most weeks, so expect Storm to be up for this one yet again. But look at both sides. For the Rabbitohs, so this laptop wants to move, sorry. Latrell Mitchell has been named to back up from Origin, so he'll go to fullback. Cody Walker is back from a groin injury, and Campbell Graham is back from back spasms. They're both listed among the reserves, both of them, so they're a chance to play, but have not been named in the original 17 just yet. So that means Lil Stodd plays 6 for now if Cody Walker doesn't play. Keon Kalamatangi is also listed among the reserves, but is unlikely to play with a suspected facial fracture against the Bulldogs. Davey Mawali moves into the starting prop position with Sean Keeper going to the bench, and Jaden Sullivan's out with the calf, so yeah, he's also injured, Jaden Sullivan and Jai Gray, so yeah, not good. Look at the Storm. Munster, Grant, Liero, Coates, and Stefano have all been named to back up from Origin. And the only change that has been named is Bronson Garlic joining the bench for Atavalu Lasati. And back rower Alec McDonald has been listed among the reserves as he looks to return from a quad injury. Okay, well, there we go. So Storm are playing all their Origin players, it seems like, and yeah, that makes them a whole lot better as a team. Look, I think Souths are a chance of winning. Like, they have been in the game most weeks with some clubs, apart from Canberra, but just have not been winning, unfortunately. I'll go Storm because that's the safe bet, but we'll see. Souths can definitely spark anything on their day, but I'll go Storm to win. They should be too good. Melbourne 13 plus, first try scorer, give me Pappenhausen, and anytime try scorers. Going to go with Jack Wyden. I think he's due for a try. And for the Storm, I'll go with Eli Katoa. Okay, on to Sunday footy, the first game of 3. So 3 games on Sunday. How good. 2 p.m. kickoff, Broncos versus Sharks at Suncorp Stadium. So, you know, the Broncos the other week were very good against the Titans. Completely smashed them from the very first minute of the game. And, yeah, it looked like the Broncos that we all are anticipating for them to be. But, you know, until that one game, that's when they show their potential as a team. So we'll see if they can back it up this round against the Sharks. As for Cronulla, though, themselves have been very average as of recent, I won't lie. But I think Cronulla will be eager to back up another win this week after their win over the Dragons last Thursday at Cogra. So, yeah, we'll see how Sharks go in this one at Suncorp Stadium. Look at both sides. For the Broncos, Pat Carrigan and Payne Haas both cleared to play, backing out from Origin. Jack Kozewski returns for the Broncos after a extended period out with a fractured arm, so he goes on the bench replacing Ben Sakura, who's out for 6 to 8 weeks after syndesmosis surgery, so best of wishes to Ben Sakura on recovery. Ben Hunt hamstring remains sidelined. Cobbo is still in the reserves. And new recruit Ben Tulsey comes on the extended bench after signing a train and trial contract with the club. So, yeah, there we go. That's all the changes there for Brisbane. As for the Sharks, Steven Talakai moves to the centres to replace Moeni Harodi with a calf injury. And Daniel Atkinson joins the bench in the only change to the side that beat the Dragons. Very tough game, this one, actually. I can honestly see it going either way, to be fair. I'm going to go with the Broncos, actually. Don't know what it is, but I think Broncos might get the job done here. Whether that's because Pat Carrigan's back at lock and there's things that are working now for the Broncos, I don't know. But I think I'll go with the Broncos to win without any confidence. But, yeah, I think I'll get the job done. So I'll go Broncos to win by 6, 1-12. First try scorer, give me Jesse Ramey for first try. And anytime try scorers, I'm going to go with Katoni Staggs. And for the Sharks, going to back in Brendan Cora. But Broncos to win. Next up, it's the 4 p.m. game. It's the Roosters versus the Cowboys at Allianz Stadium. So the Roosters last weekend were very gritty over the Knights, winning 12 points to 8 at McDonald Jones Stadium in Newcastle. As for the Cowboys, they were shocking. They were shocking against the Dolphins. I know heaps of players were out for Cowboys, like their Origin stars and Follier and Bateman, who are back this week. But to still concede over 50 points at your own home ground in Townsville, it's very embarrassing. And I think the coach has to get the best out of his team this weekend, because there is players back, like most of their stars are back. But yeah, I think conceding 50 points at your own home ground, it's really not good enough. So we'll see what kind of response the Cowboys have in store for Sunday. But look at both sides. For the Roosters, Robert Toya and Lindsay Collins are both named to back up, and so is Blues trio Watson, Crichton, and Lenu all cleared to play. Toyos returns sees Mark Nawaqanitawale go to the wing, and Dom Young obviously now gone. That means Mark will take his position on the wing. Nafai White and Sia Wong and Celeste Feketi remain in the team. Makahesi Makatoa and Taylor Salu drop out to the reserves, and Victor Rayleigh and Egan Butcher have entered the concussion protocol, so they're out for this game. As for the Cowboys, like I said, Viliami Vailea is back from suspension. Brayden Burns, that means, Brayden Burns goes to the reserves. John Bateman is also back from a one-game ban. Tom Dearden, Robson, Nanai, Ruben Cotter are all named to play. Tamalolo is still out with a reassuring calf injury, so got injured in the warm-up, so a bit of injury concern for Tamalolo, but hopefully he's back soon. Harrison Edwards and Sam McIntyre are on the bench. They're good to go. So Caleb Lars and Tom Duffy dropped to the reserves. Look, I think this game will be quite close, actually. I think like last year, even game. I know Cowboys will be eager to bounce back and put a much better performance in this week with who's available. The Roosters, on the other hand, at Allianz have been quite good at home this year. So I think this game can go either way, but I don't know. Very hard to go against the Roosters here, so I'll tip the Chooks to win. Let's go Roosters 1-12. First try scorer, give me Mark Nawaqanitawale. And anytime try scorers, going to go with Angus Crichton to score. And for the Cowboys, might go with Murray Talangi to score. He is always a safe bet to score on that wing. Alright, and the last game to wrap up round 16, it's the Eels versus Titans at Combank Stadium. Parramatta, this weekend they lose both their halves, Mitchell Moses and Dylan Brown, one to a calf, one due to being suspended. So, big losses there for Parramatta. As for Gold Coast, well, they beat my boys last weekend and fair play on Friday, even though we sort of gave them that win yet again, but they just outplayed us, I guess. But see how Gold Coast go. They've got some big names back as well, it looks like. But look at both sides. For the Eels, as I said, Moses Brown out. Halves are Josh Papali'i and Dean Hawkins in the halfback position, and Papali'i the 6. Also, Zach Lomax is going to back up from Origin as well, so that's good for Parramatta. And Warren McGrigg has been added to the bench for the first time this year, since round 24 last year. As for the Titans, Tirafa Malawi and Mo Wake have been named to play this weekend as they look to back up from Origin. Dave Fafita has been named at 18th man and is set to return after an ankle injury last month. Joseph Fafita returns from a hand injury and goes in the centres, so Brian Kelly makes way. My tip for this game, I think I like Titans more here. I see Parramatta can... I say Parramatta can win. They can win. I can see them doing that, but I think Gold Coast have a bit more quality names. And I mean, look, no Moses, no, Dylan Brown. That's obviously a lot of it, but their attack gone. So I think I'll go Titans in this one. Let's go Gold Coast to win 1-12. First try scorer, give me the returning Jojo Fafita, and anytime try scorers, I'm going to back Joash Papali'i at 5'8", and for the Titans, both for more. But that right there was my round 16 tips and predictions for 2025. Hope you all enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel and enjoy your round of football. Let's go.